Gawvi, it's great to have you back on the show. It's been way too long, and I'm super excited about the new record. Welcome back, dude.
Man, thank you so much for having me, honestly. It's an honor.
Last time we talked was right after, or just right before, somewhere around in there, when Lost in Hue was coming out. And, of course, a lot has happened since then.
Yeah, a lot definitely has happened. It feels like it's been a long, over a year, but it's only been, half a year, 6 months or so?
Yeah, it hadn't been that long.
So... yeah, or 8 months around there. So yeah, it's been a short time, but we're just trying to flush out a lot of music, man.
That is a bit, I guess, different from the average person who has a musical output to put out that much in that short of amount of time. How long would you say has been going into the writing and the producing of, say, the first EP, Lost in Hue, all the way up to the new record, We Belong, which is just about to drop?
Yeah, so last year, I believe it was August when Lost in Hue came out. That took, a good solid 3 months to try and, create the 4 songs and get it right and, mix and master everything into, an EP project. Shortly after that, I got to do the same thing again in September. I released another EP. And, those 2 projects provided so much great opportunity for me to travel and do shows and think of new ways of creating new music. So I was creating new music from, September till December of last year, and the idea of We Belong was created, and I went diving in straight into creating my album, which is We Belong, and I'm releasing it March 31st. So I'm just super excited. It's been a great few months of just creating and trying to get the best product out there.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when I first heard Lost in Hue, my first thought was, well, this is different than what I normally just think of Gawvi doing, and especially with that track that you had released kind of as a teaser online with who was it? The Aguena song. I know I'm saying it wrong, but you know what? Yeah, that one. It's like that was released as a teaser track, and then Lost in Hue came out. I'm like, this is different. I like it, but it's not. It might not have been what I would have expected based on the teaser track. And then, then I was like, okay, so this is what he's going for. And then I heard the 2 EPs. I'm like, well, this is cool. This is kind of the lane that he's going for. I like it. And then I started hearing the songs Rock and Roll come out. And also, of course, Godspeed come out. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to jump lanes again. I like this. So, obviously, you have a very diverse taste, and you're not wanting to stick with just one section of EDM or pop. But tell us what inspires you to make such a varied output, as it were. I guess there's probably a better way of saying it, but putting out a lot of different styles of music within the genre.
Yeah, so what's really cool is definitely EDM pop mixed with some trap. So I'm in the circle of let's say when you think of the guys of Martin Garrix and Calvin Harris, all the EDM guys, DJ Snake, I'm definitely into that world where, it connects with vinyl, it connects with late nights, it connects with Closer, my new single that I just released, the first one. So it's all within the EDM world. Just, different pockets of different energy stuff. And that's what I love right now about music. People could just be creatives and create whatever they want. And I always tie it back somehow with EDM. So I've just been excited for this new project. I feel like I've nailed an amazing sound that I love, that everyone will enjoy. I didn't just want to do hip hop. I didn't just want to do tropical. I didn't just want to do, a ballad. I wanted to somehow make everything make sense all together, but it be for everyone. I want, grandma to love it. I want a non-believer to love it. I want, the guy that's down the street that, is, I don't know, from Israel. I don't know, just someone that's, everyone needs to feel like they belong in this whole process while they're listening to the album, culturally, everything sonically. It's just a full project that's full of energy, and it's just stuff I love. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And it's funny because thus far, I mean, there's been 3 songs that have been put online from the project. You mentioned Closer and, of course, Godspeed and Rock and Roll. And all 3 of them sound like they could be played on like a different radio station to me, and I think that that's fantastic because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you could, I mean, if all three of those could have their own legs as singles, totally separately, but at the same time, you're right. I mean, at the same time, I could see like a station, like a pop station, being willing to play all three, and it's still working. And I think that that's something truly unique that you've got going.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So now, how did you feel like the process, if different at all, was different for putting together We Belong as opposed to the two EPs that you had done prior to this?
The only difference is probably, you know, they were 4 songs only for the EPs, and then let's see, you know, I think it's still in the same lane. When you hear the full project of We Belong,
Yeah.
You'll hear some sonically stuff that's similar as far as, you know, the project of Lost in Hue or Holding You. You still have that where there's tropical EDM or there's, you know, a hip hop vibe in there. So yeah, it's still who I am, Gawvi. The only difference now with We Belong is I actually sing a lot more on this project. And not that I'm a singer. I'm not a singer. I just love creating music. So, you know, I really look up to guys like Pharrell, where, you know, he started off, you know, let's say a grimy song that he did with the Cliffs where it's so hip hop, but then out of nowhere, he could sing on a happy song, you know, that's just, you know, a different pop element. And I've always loved artists like that they could just create. And that's what I've been always wanting to accomplish, is just creating great music.
Fantastic. All about that. Now, you had mentioned that you sing a good bit more on this record. Was that a challenge for you? Is this something that you're having to get used to? And if not, then how long has this been at least something that you do, even if not on a hugely regular basis?
Yeah, it was a challenge because of confidence. I would sing, and I'm like, man, I probably sound horrible. But, you know, a lot of the people at the label and even my wife, which is my biggest critique, they're like, you sound dope, just do it. Because I would always, what I always do is, I always, you know, start off making a song and then I'll record melodies for the vocalist, whoever I'm going to have feature on it.
Right.
And sometimes I just really like the way I sound and I'll leave it, but I won't even say it's me. I'll just have it as a background. But with this project, I think the challenge was more of, hey, you know, just create, do what you got to do, G. And if people don't like it, then they don't. But you're creating something you love. Just go for it. So I started singing more, and I really enjoy it.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Well, it wouldn't be at all a surprise to people who have heard, you know, your music before, and as you've already alluded to, there are some guest vocals on this record. Who would you say is your favorite feature on this album?
Ooh, that's a tough question because all of them are my favorite. Even when people say, "What's your favorite song?"
Right.
I don't have a favorite song. I just love every single song. There's really cool stories though behind the features. So like the first single, "Closer," I found this girl named Julissa. She's the opening person of the song. I found her on Instagram, and she's only 16 years old.
Oh wow!
She has an amazing voice, and I was just blown away. So I got to fly her and her mother into Atlanta, where the studio is located. And I got to meet her, and we didn't even know that song was going to happen. It was just organically, it just happened. It was perfect. And then the guy that sings on that, Robbie Lee, I heard his vocals on a worship album from Mosaic in LA, California. And, you know, his name wasn't even featured on a song, but I was like, I need to find whoever this guy is. So I did everything possible to find him. And luckily, I got to find him at the same time Julissa flew in, and we just organically made the song, and it was just amazing how it just became a magical moment.
Wow, that is cool. That is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny
So
because
there's a lot of cool stories like that with features.
Yeah, for sure. Now, of course, I think one of the ones that people at least have been the most excited about thus far on the song Godspeed has been having Andy Mineo on there, and then of course KB on there as well.
Yeah.
There's something about that song that I just love, and it's funny. This is something that I could be way off base on, and this could be me trying to read way too much into it. But kind of the kind of the dubsteppy breakdown that kind of happens in that song that almost acts like a chorus. The kind of the pattern and the cadence of it almost sounds like what would happen if a synthesizer was doing a flow that Andy does. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Andy's famous to do fast flows along with KB, and a lot of rappers they do some fast flows. The inspiration off of the synth going crazy was like that was just EDM music, the way EDM is right now. There's a lot of fast patterns and stuff like that, and also it sounds like a really cool dolphin just going crazy.
Yes, I didn't get that. My brain didn't go there, but yes.
So it was really fun creating that song. Just not thinking of any limits, just trying to get a weird sound. I created that and just giving it a different pattern. The second half of the pattern, when it goes on triplets, that was inspiration from South Florida, where we have this thing of back in the day used to Wu-Tang with it, it's a dance, and it's a South Florida, style rhythm. So I don't know. There's a lot of inspiration all over that track. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of those ones where I wish I was playing parties, because that's one that I would just love to just pull out and be like, hey guys, you don't even know it until you hear this track.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man. I love it, man. Sweet deal. So now the record drops on the 31st of this month, which is coming up real soon. And I know you've been doing some shows. Recently you did one in Jersey, and that looked like that went off really well. What are the plans as far as playing some of these tracks out live?
Yeah, what's been cool is so I was on tour with Social Club, and while being on tour with them, these songs, my 3 singles for We Belong was being released. So it was awesome being able to perform them for the first time on this tour, and like literally seeing the fans hearing the song for the first time right before they go to the show, and then they already know the song when they go to the show, and just seeing how crazy people been acting. Like, man, it's just been mind-blowing. So I'm on an all-time high right now, where I'm super excited about this project and the way I got to connect with fans and to see them and hear their stories. So right now I'm just like, I can't wait to do more shows that are lined up already and perform the rest of these songs.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Now, a lot of the people who listen to the show in particular, I'm sure, don't go to as many hip-hop shows and probably have maybe even less experience going to go see an artist such as yourself. What does it look like when a person who is not, I guess you're just kind of normal performer. I mean, you're not like a rap artist where you get up there and then somebody just plays music behind you, or you have a DJ. You're probably closer to being the DJ in a sense. What does a performance from you live look like?
Yeah, so it's been really interesting to see, especially in the Christian industry, this sound of EDM starting to become very popular. Mm-hmm. And what happens in EDM is basically it's a producer, a DJ. He goes up there and he performs his songs while he's playing it. But what's really cool is there's a lot of EDM DJs like myself now that are also performing it. So it's a big party. There's no way you could be leaning up against the wall and just chilling. Like, you have to be sweating and jumping throughout the whole time. And then it's me performing my songs, and then also going in front of a microphone, and I'm singing a lot of these songs live. And I have a whole gear where it's like my keyboard. I produce a lot of things live in front of people. Oh, nice. And it's just a high energy show. Lights are just crazy. And it's very much in production, and then also performance. And it's one-on-one with the crowd. We all just have a huge party nonstop. So a lot of these things is just an EDM party. And it's been cool seeing the culture of that grow within the Christian industry. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. I'm all about that. That's awesome. Aside from the record, do you have anything that you can tell us about that you have coming up? Because I know, and a lot of people may not know, but you do a lot of tracks and production for other artists as well. Is there anything coming up on that plane that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so for the rest of the year, I'll be performing and also releasing more new music. This won't be the only thing you guys hear for the year as far as
Oh
We
wow.
Belong. So We Belong comes out. I'm excited about that, but then I'm also excited about new music that I'll be releasing after that. And I'm just going along with the culture of people just wanting music nonstop, and I love it. And it provides a lot of great opportunity. I'm also producing a lot of stuff for a lot of the guys here on Reach Records, like Lecrae, Andy. A lot of the guys are working on new music as well. So just excited about this year. It's full of a lot of stuff, nonstop. So I'm trying to figure out how to be a dad and a husband while all this is happening because it's a lot. So
Yeah.
pray for me with that.
Yeah, man, we'll do, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and I'm not doing half of what you're doing, and I find it to be a challenge. So I know exactly what you mean. It's a
Yeah,
tough gig, man. It's a tough gig, but keep your head up and keep working hard, and of
thank you.
course, at the end of the day, being home with the family is a beautiful thing. Well, cool deal, man. Dude, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
your time, and we appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll get a
Thank
chance
you.
to see you out on the road, and look forward to playing some songs off the record, and I'll look forward to grabbing it when it comes out on March 31st, man.
Yeah, super excited. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, for sure.